Do you find yourself in a changing real estate market and you're not doing as much business as you would like? If so, this is the video you're going to want to watch. Inside today's video, I'm going to talk about how to make a real estate business successful in spite of a changing market, and it all comes down to the approach and strategy. Take a look. Hey everyone, Kevin Smullin with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies. If you are brand new to our channel, welcome. We're glad you're here. What we're all about is helping real estate agents just like you generate more leads, set more appointments, and close more deals. So if that is what you're after, you are absolutely at the right place. Please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here as part of our community. Before I get going on today's video, just a quick note down in the description below, you will find a link to our Facebook Masters class. It is chock full of all of the best practices that we've learned after generating 70,000 leads, having proper follow-up systems, and taking that and turning it into business. So make sure you go check that out. It's absolutely free and it is time well spent. In today's video, what we're going to be talking about is how to make a real estate business successful even in spite of a changing market. So one of the things I'm hearing from a lot of agents around the country is that the market is changing. There's starting to be more inventory than there has been because interest rates have gone up. There's just not the same level of demand from buyers as there previously was. So between inflation and rising housing prices and rising interest rates, it's kind of created this situation where a lot of people are just kind of, waiting to see what's going to happen, and that same demand to go find something and own a home just isn't there as it was earlier this year. So with that having been said, how do you still do business in a changing market? So I want to share with you a few principles and things that will help you make your real estate business successful. Number one is this is the time to be more dedicated. A lot of times people just get undisciplined about the way that they approach their business. You've got to make sure that you are doing things that are going to create opportunities. So you've got to block out time on your schedule to prospect, right? Make your phone calls. You've got to block out time to do things that will invite new business, whether that's running ads on Facebook. I do a lot of that here on this channel. Whether it is open houses or door knocking or whatever it is that you do to drum up business, you've got to make sure that you've got time dedicated for these things in your schedule. See, a lot of agents tend to get undisciplined, as I said, and so this is an area where with just a little bit of discipline and a little bit of hustle, you can absolutely outwork the competition and still keep business going. Now, during that time, let's talk about how you end up becoming, or how you be more focused and more strategic with the time that you are dedicating. So anytime you are making phone calls, your absolute best use of your time always will be the people that you're actively working with, your buyers, your sellers, people that are in an active buying or selling cycle. They've thought about it, they're considering options, they're getting things ready. You want to make sure that you capitalize on every single one of those. So your priorities during this time period, that's your first level of priority. Your second level of priority during your prospecting time is marketing to your past clients, your sphere of influence, those relationships that you have. If you've watched my channel for any period of time, you know that I am a huge believer in database marketing and in relationship marketing. So this is not a time where you can just sit back and hope that people refer you. This is a time where you need to be certainly more proactive. Now, I don't believe in the strategy of calling your friends and family and past clients and asking the question, who do you know of that's thinking about buying or selling? Okay, the reason I don't believe in doing that is simply because I have seen so many situations where people ask that question, and what ends up happening is the person they ask that question to, they don't like being put on the spot and having that direct solicitation, right? being asked for a specific name, who do you know, it makes people uncomfortable. And so your past clients, your friends, your family, these are the last people on the planet that you want to make sure that you are taking care of them in the right way. So you've got to nurture those relationships. In fact, if you want my opinion, when you call people, I wouldn't even bring up real estate at all. I would just make this, hey, just calling, checking, everything good with you guys? How's the house, right? Again, I wouldn't try to make any kind of referral or sales call. You'll notice that, again, this is just building relationships. This is why we do this, is so that when those people do have a need, they think of you. When those people have an opportunity to refer you, you're the one that they refer because they know you're going to take good care of people. So again, you want to make sure that you're dedicating focused time to marketing to your past clients, your sphere of influence. This is also a time I highly recommend investing a little bit of money into that marketing and doing a client appreciation event if you haven't done one of those in a while. Invite your clients, invite your friends, your family, and frankly, it doesn't even matter what the event is, whether it's a barbecue at the park, if you want to team up with your lender, if you want to team up with other agents in your office, go rent out a community pool. That tends to be relatively inexpensive if a couple people are going in on it. Just do something that give people a reason to get together. And I've seen so many people that will generate tons of business from these opportunities, right? I've had clients that have spent $200, $300, $400 on these events, and they walk away with like 4, 5, 6 pieces of business from it. It makes all the sense in the world. And again, if you're putting on one of these events, this just gives you a perfect excuse to reach out and contact people. Hey, it's been a while since we spoke, but I wanted to let you know we're putting on this event. Here's the date and time. We'd love to have you come, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so it's a great excuse to reach out and have contact with people, right? So that's the second thing. The third priority as your prospecting time is this is the time to reach out to your pipeline, your previous leads, right? So what ends up happening with a lot of leads that people have either purchased from like Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook, any of these sources, is they get these leads where the person either doesn't respond or where the person is like, well, we're not going to do anything for 3 months or 6 months or whatever. What happens with a lot of real estate agents when they're generating leads is they tend to cherry pick, right? They'll, call through, figure out which ones are the most immediate opportunities. They tend to devote almost all their time and effort and resources to those, and the other ones just kind of get pushed by the wayside, right? This is the time where you want to make sure you're going back to those leads. See, what happens a lot of time is we generate the lead here, but just because of the way the real estate industry works, it could be 60, 90, 120 days or even more by the time they're ready to either buy or sell. And so in situations like that, it can absolutely be opportunities to be profitable, right? So you can take these leads that you've already got, again, put in some good old-fashioned hustle and work, follow up with them, and you just never know what you're going to bump into because it's just timing. You might be hitting the right person at the right time. But that is the next thing you would really want to spend your prospecting time on, are those previous leads you have, getting that pipeline. See, this is where your pipeline concept is super critical, is when the market starts changing and things aren't happening as often, like there's just not as many transactions going on in the marketplace, the pipeline really helps insulate you from that. So if you've neglected building up your pipeline, it's time to start. And this is why we need to have dedicated prospecting time. If you've got a pipeline, great. This is the time to double down and nurture it. In the same vein, if you don't have a sales pipeline, this is the time to start building one. So again, this is where I would highly recommend running ads on Facebook where you can be generating leads at a very low cost, like $3, $4, $5 a piece. That's pretty common for my clients, even in today's changing market. And those opportunities just help fill up that pipeline, right? Again, some of those are going to move through quickly. Other ones are going to take time. That's going to take follow up and nurture, and that's totally fine. So this is one of the ways that you can start building a very successful real estate business, is by having dedicated prospecting time and prioritizing it for the people you're currently working with that are in an active buying or selling sales cycle, your relationships, doubling down on the marketing that you're doing there, and number 3, following up with previous leads, old leads that you might have just thrown by the wayside. It's time to dust those off and create some opportunities out of those. Now, like I said, that will help you with that. There are also ways that you can adapt and shift to make things successful regardless of what's going on. So even if rates continue to go up, which a lot of people think that they will, who knows, but even if they do, as rates go up, if homes become less and less affordable for people, transactions will still be going on. It's just the transactions will be different. So one of the things that you can also do to shift and adapt to still be doing deals is you can be shifting to investors, right? Real estate investors are always looking for a great deal regardless of what type of market that we're in. I know a lot of investors right now, as they start to see things shift, they're doubling down as well. It's like, hey, these are opportunities to pick up some great properties for my portfolio and have even more wealth. So knowing that, you could stop doing traditional residential real estate and go more into the investing space, multifamily, storage units, land development. There's all kinds of opportunities there that if you have a viable opportunity and you can present it in a way that makes sense to an investor, you can still be doing lots of transactions in this market just by shifting the type of marketing and the type of focus that you have for what you're doing. So again, part of what happens is people kind of get blinders on. It's like, this is the way I've always done business. And that's fine, but if the market changes to an extreme, you're going to have to adapt, right? So you've either got to have a massive database and a massive pipeline to get you through those big changes, or you're going to need something to shift and adapt, and this is how you can still thrive. I know a lot of people back in 2008, 2009, part of the way that they got through it was, and actually grew their business, was not only did they have a database they were marketing to, but they shifted what type of business they were doing. I know a lot of people that got into investing, working with investors, that got into the commercial space. And so by changing what their business looked like and how it functioned, they were able to keep doing deals and keep income coming in. So take your blinders off, look around. What are the trends? What are the options, right? And I think you'll find that if you approach your market from that standpoint and that viewpoint, realizing that there's always real estate transactions going on, they're just different transactions, that you can find opportunities and shift and adapt your business for them, right? So hopefully those are some valuable tips that will help you to make a successful real estate business even in a changing market. Again, a changing market doesn't mean there are no transactions. It just means the transactions are looking different. So think about these things. Dedicate time. Be disciplined in your prospecting. Prioritize what you're doing, the people you're actively working with, your relationships, past clients, sphere of influence, your old leads. Again, let's be focused about the work that we're doing so that you get better results to grow your business. So hopefully some of those tips and ideas are things that will help you as you start to see things shift a little bit. And I hear some people say the shift is going to be massive. I hear other people say it's not going to be much of anything. I don't know. In my experience, the truth tends to lie somewhere between the middle. But that's okay, right? Regardless of how this ends up, you've just got to realize there are ways to make your business successful no matter what's going on. It's just thinking and approaching things differently. So hopefully that was valuable. Like I said, if you found it valuable, take a split second, click that thumbs up button down below. We appreciate your support. Also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. Click the subscribe button down below, and right next to it there is a bell notification. If you click on that, you will be notified every time we put out brand new content, and we put out videos just like this every single week with tips, strategies, and ideas that will help you grow your business. So please subscribe. Also, if you are interested in knowing more about our marketing services that we generate leads, set appointments, and help you close deals, if you're interested in those services, you'll find more information down in the description below. So check that out. That's it. Make it a great week. Keep crushing it in your real estate business. Let's help this grow and be successful. Other than that, we will see you on the next video. Take care.